we go. It is Sunday, May 21st, 2023, and from the home studio in Middletown, Delaware, I'm Marshal Manlove from Delaware Sports and My Sports Reports. This is a special interview edition of our show, and shortly you're going to meet a talented young pitcher from Polytech High School in Woodside, Delaware, and our head coach, and we'll introduce them to you after I let you know that this particular broadcast is brought to you by allaboutsportsu.com. Mr. Tim Wampler is a longtime softball coach and mentor, and he's developed this online training academy for softball players. And if you visit allaboutsportsu.com, subscribe for 1 year, use this flashing promo code, flashing because I'm hitting a little button on and off here, on, off, and take 15% off of that subscription. That's allaboutsportsu.com. This is also brought to you by me, Marshal Manlove, stage hypnotist. If you would like a funny, fascinating, and memorable experience for a party or an event that you are having, please consider my stage hypnosis show, details about which you can find at marshalmanlove.com. Now, I don't do a lot of public shows. Mark down October 7th, 2023 on your calendar, 7 p.m. I'm going to do my show live at the Smyrna Opera House. Ticket details coming soon. It's still a ways away, but I just want to start promoting it now because everybody's schedule is so busy. Just fill in that date now. Block it. Mark it off with a big X or M for Marshall. That's the Smyrna Opera House, October 7th. And thanks to my friends in Jazzercise in Middletown, New York, and Elkton, Maryland. Please visit jazzercise.com and get in shape. Yeah, do that. Get in shape. All right, now hopefully when I press this next button, my guests will appear. And anybody who watches this show with any regularity knows that sometimes when I hit this button, it doesn't happen, but it did that time. Our guests are here to the left of the screen there. Your left is Polytech Panthers softball coach Kyle Taylor. Welcome, Coach. Let's test your microphone.
Thanks for having us.
All right, microphone's working. And the aforementioned talented young pitcher from the Polytech Panthers softball team. Introduce yourself there to our growing fan base, young lady.
I'm Mara Everton, and I'm in the class of 2024, and I pitch for Polytech softball.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do pitch indeed. You're having quite a year there, young lady. So we'll talk about first the year that you're having, and you kind of came across my radar, well, because I cover local sports, but you started throwing a bunch of no-hitters. The Panthers softball team kind of started off a little rough. I think it was like 4-5, right, Kyle? Something like that.
Yeah, we started off 4-5 before our 9-game winning streak to end the season.
Yeah, and then that 9-game winning streak puts your team at 13-5, but one of the things that I keep note of are special achievements during a game or a particular milestone. And the second no-hitter that Mara threw caught my attention. It was the first one you threw was against Redline Christian Academy. It was a 9-0 win. And then your second one was a win against Dover High School. Combined 25 strikeouts in those two games. But then you just kept on going there. First of all, Mara, talk about those particular games, those no-hitters. What runs through your mind in the middle of a game like that?
Honestly, probably just hitting my spots and making sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and knowing that my team is always back there behind me and supporting me. And even if the ball's hit, I'll know that they'll be back there to make the play and get the outs for me.
We're going to mention members of your team later because you can't do it all by yourself. Even if you struck out everybody, you still have to have somebody catch the ball. So there is at least a catcher we have to recognize. And then you can't bat 20 times a game, so other people have to drive in runs. We'll talk about them here in a little bit. So you're pretty much just focused on one thing then, and not so much the cumulative effect of what those things are doing. Would that be proper to say then?
Yeah.
Okay. And who's calling your pitches?
Daniel Demora. He's one of our assistant coaches.
Okay. And does he relay them to your catcher? And who is your catcher, by the way?
Brianna Benton.
Okay. So he relays it to her, who relays it to you,
Um,
and
he he relays it. He relays it to both of us,
at the
like at the
same.
same.
Yeah, you have the better angle, I guess. Anyway, you catch us to turn her head and all that to see it. You got a better look, I guess. Do you ever shake him off?
Yes.
Really? That's pretty bold. Because you're a junior, I don't know if you have shake off permission yet until you're a senior. What's up with that? Oh, that's very bold. That's very, very bold. Yeah. So, how many different pitches do you throw, Amar?
Um, like 4.
Okay, that's right. Stick to the ones you're good at, right? And what are those for? If you don't mind saying, because you have the state tournament coming up, and maybe you don't want to
I'm
give away any secrets or anything.
I'm not gonna say them.
Okay, all right. So I can't ask my next question then, which would be, what's your out pitch when like you really need a strike? You're not going to tell me?
No.
I'm going to say no to that one, Marshall.
Hey, you can't blame me, man. I'm an interviewer. Uh, so then you started striking out a whole bunch of people, and you passed the 200 strikeout mark for this year alone. And along the way, reached the 300 strikeout milestone. And those are one of those numbers, a couple of those numbers that I mentioned in one of our other shows that we do. So you just kept catching my attention there. And then you're also pretty media savvy as well, because I see that I see some social media posts that you make, and I think you do it the right way. Some kids just do it the wrong way. Let's put it that way. I think you do it the right way, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you as well, because I figure that you're probably well spoken. Now, your next no hitter was against Seaford High School, and in that game, 15 strikeouts. What do you remember about that game?
Um, I don't know. This side struck out a lot of people. They didn't really hit like anything like hard off of me. Anything that they hit was just like ground balls, like easy pop ups.
Okay. Well, not too many people hit at all. You struck out 15 of them, right? And then the one that ended up impressing me was the one to close out the year when you beat Odessa, because they were the Flight B champions, and you had your best day, I guess, strikeout wise. 17 strikeouts. What do you remember about that game?
That I did not throw a lot of balls.
Yeah, she
There's
didn't. Kyle, tell me about that particular game, because you sent me some notes about that.
Yeah, I mean, that game was impressive on a whole different level. So she had 2 immaculate innings, and for those that don't know what that is, she faced 3 batters in the inning, 3 strikeouts, and on 9 pitches. So she didn't have anybody foul anything off. She didn't have anybody. She didn't throw any balls in those 2 innings. And those 2 innings actually bookended another inning where she only threw 10 pitches on 3 strikeouts. So quick math, that's 9, 18. So in 3 innings, she threw 28 pitches, 28 strikes with 9 strikeouts. So that's just it is impressive to watch. And then in that game, so we only played 6 innings that game, and so she only faced 18 outs, and out of those 18 outs, 17 strikeouts, which is even more incredible.
That's
Which
the
was
way to close
funny.
out a season, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
no
was funny
doubt.
too, because we knew the number that she needed to get to 200, and and it just so happened to work out that way. But even so, so that 6th inning, she had it was a drop third strike. So it kind of helped out because there was 2 outs in that inning that didn't come off of a strikeout. So she kind of lucked out in that.
So it's 200 strikeouts and 120 innings, 50 of them looking. Just to put some perspective on that immaculate inning achievement, I think I just read the other day where in Major League Baseball, it's only happened like 20 times. Now, I know we're talking about high school softball here, but there's a lot of instances where you don't really even necessarily want to purposely throw 3 strikes in a row, or at least waste one to try to get somebody to swing wildly or something like that, right? So it's actually uh, a, sometimes against pitching strategy to do that. So what would that tell you then? Or was she getting swings and misses in those particular innings there? Was she trying to miss, try to get a bad swing? What was it
Yeah,
there?
I mean, she had movement that day, and she was getting swing and misses, and she was just throwing the ball really well. So for a batter, it was definitely tough for Odessa to step into the batter's box with the movement that she was having.
Yeah, and that's a good team. They put almost all of their starting players in the all Blue Hen Flight B conference teams here from first, second, and honorable mention. And speaking of postseason honors, Mar, we know that you were one of the pitchers in the All Henlopen Conference to make the first team. Congratulations to you on that.
Thank you.
Now, I also know that you are looking to play softball in college and that you might already have something lined up. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm already committed to Furman University.
And where is that, Mara?
It's in South Carolina.
Greenville, South Carolina. Where is Greenville? What's that near?
Um, I don't know.
Find out when you get there, I guess. I take it, did you
Yeah.
visit the campus?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember any signs? Anything that you could remember along the way? Like, I don't know, Columbia, Myrtle Beach, anything like that?
Well, we had flown into Greenville, so
Okay. So no, you couldn't see any signs. The only sign you saw was Greenville. All right, fair enough. And why did you end up choosing Furman?
because well, after college, I want to go to grad school, and they have like a really good pre-law and acceptance rate into grad school. So that's like one of the main reasons that I chose to go there.
Okay. All right. So don't forget me. All right, because I do a lot of these interviews and like to find out what people want to study. So I'm lining up future doctors, lawyers, accountants, and business managers and stuff. So I'm going to stay on your good side, and you keep in touch with me in case I run into some legal problems 10 years from now. You can help me out, okay?
Okay.
What, what else should we know about you? Do you play any other sports, Mara?
I played volleyball, but I don't play it anymore.
Okay. Don't like it anymore, or just focusing on other things?
I was just gonna focus on softball.
Okay. And do you play on a club team of some sort?
For softball?
Yeah.
Yeah, I play for Carolina Elite.
That would be in South Carolina, I take it.
Yeah.
Now, is that how they Furman coaches saw you?
So not really because I had went to this team and then my coach had like talked to a whole bunch of college coaches about me and I just like started visiting them and going and talking to them and then I just ended up at Furman.
Okay. So that's a verbal commit at this point. Suppose somebody came along and from another university perhaps you admired and you made you an offer you couldn't refuse. What would that process be if you decided you wanted to perhaps change your mind?
I wouldn't change my mind, so that wouldn't happen.
Good. That's right, because the coach is probably watching this right now. So that's the correct answer. Kyle, talk about Mara a little bit, what she brings to the team. Maybe say something interesting, funny, or positive about her, too, along the way. A little anecdote of some sort.
I mean, really, this year she has been phenomenal. Yeah, one of the changes from last year, this year is and even from the beginning of the season to now, is the confidence that she's grown into. And one of the things that I had talked about with our team, because we've been very young for the last 2 years, and when you're as young as we were, it becomes tough to be 14 and 15 years old going up against 17 and 18-year-olds. It doesn't matter how much skill you have. But we came in 2 years ago when Mara was a freshman. We were losing games big. And then last year we started developing a little bit more chemistry, and we were losing some games that were tough games, some by a lot, some by a little, but the games that we were losing by, 3 runs or less, we just couldn't get those last 3 or 6 outs. But this year, it kind of clicked, and a lot of that comes from, one, the rest of the team getting in, getting up in the box, but also really stems as well, Mara, with that pressure situation. So when I've said that we had to learn how to win, learn how to handle that pressure situation, and Mara really did. She learned how to pitch under pressure, and I remember the beginning of the season, you could see that she was a little nervous, and now she is accepting of that situation, and I think she gets better when the pressure comes right now.
She's definitely hitting her. She's hitting her peak right about now, right about the right time. Now, this Panther team over the last 2 years only won a combined total of 6 games. If I did my math correct, I think that was 2 and 4, right? 2 plus 4 is 6.
Yeah, we won 2 in 2021, and then 4 last year.
And 2021 was a tricky year anyway, but still, you want to win more than 2, and you've won double that all just this year. So talk about some of the other players on your team that are making big contributions to the success of the Panthers this year.
Yeah, so first I have to talk about Rachel Carey, who's been, we moved her into our leadoff spot, and she's only struck out once in 64, 68 at-bats, wow. I think it is. She puts the ball in play, and she puts the ball in play hard. She can hit the leather off of it. And she's batting .571. She has 34, 36 hits, and out of those hits, we got 9 doubles, 4 home runs, and a triple. Wow. So she's hitting for extra base hits. So she's really a spark on the offensive end, where we have, when she comes up, feels like she's going to be on base every single time. And she has a number of games where she's gone 3 for 4, 4 for 5, and one after another. So she's been phenomenal there. She's been our first baseman, and in that spot, seeing a lot of playing time and seeing, being involved in a lot of plays. She's only made 1 error all year, which actually came this past week. So she wasn't too happy because she didn't have her perfect season like she aimed for, but that's okay, because it didn't come to hurt us anyway. Shortstop Mackenzie Mitchell, she has really locked down the shortstop position, and we moved her from the leadoff spot to the 9 spot, and that's really kind of set up our offense the second time through the order, because she's batting over 370 now, and she's on base a lot. Her on base percentage is in the 400s. So, to be able to get up in that 9 spot with Rachel behind her is something that, we really look for. Let's see, defensively, she's played a solid shortstop for us, takes control of the infield, up the middle, and then, as well in the middle of our defense is Cheyenne Silvis and Karis Minner. Cheyenne is another junior, and we moved her from left field to center field this year, where she has done a great job. She's really done remarkable in tracking down the ball. Anything, one of the things that could have hurt Mara through the year were the blue pits, and she's, Cheyenne, anything that's been blued up the middle, she's gotten to. She lays out, and she's not afraid to get dirty and put herself out there. And she's only had 1 error this year as well as a center fielder. Kyla Davis in right field. She, while she hasn't had the strongest season with the bat this year, she's been amazing in the outfield as well. She's had 4 outfield assists, which, in 3 years, that's the most that we've had in the regular season. So she has really helped put out some fire from that side because her outfield assists have come to two of them came at home and two of them at third. So that's been a big spark for us. And then Julie McConnell in left field. She is another junior. So everybody I've named so far is juniors. As you see the trend going, that's why we were a little rough 2 years ago. Julie McConnell has really come in and hit the ball hard over the last few weeks. And out in left field, she's another one that hasn't committed any errors. And Karis Minner at second base. She has, over the last 2 years, she's led the team in batting. This year, she is second or third. And she's our lone senior. She's been a 3-year starter. She's been the oldest player each year that's gotten regular playing time and has started. So she's brought a lot of experience, a lot of contact. Over the last 3 weeks, she's done a good job from the 2 spot and being able to move Rachel or Kenzie over the second time through the order. So she's been great in getting on base and just doing her job as the 2-hitter. Gabrielle Bogdan is our third baseman, freshman third baseman, and she's really grown in her time. So learning from the rest of the juniors, from their experience, and learning to play third at this level, plus being able to hit for power and learning how to do different things with the bat has been great to watch. Then we have Brianna Benton, who Mara mentioned before. She's caught almost every game and every inning for Mara, which is very difficult to do. But she does it. We've given her a day off here and there, but I think out of 18 games, she started 16 from behind the plate. She gets dirty to block the ball. She can really move, and Mara does have a lot of movement on her pitches. So Brianna, has a tough task back there, especially with runners on, but she gets the job done. So also, I can't leave off Kylie Van Horn, Riley Brown, and Kaylin Tillman. So Kylie Van Horn is a little spark plug for us. She's not afraid of anybody or anything. She just comes up. I remember the first game that we played, it was against Madge Layfield at Sussex Central, and here comes Kylie Van Horn. Asked her to. We were down by 1, so asked her to go in, pinch hit. That was her first at bat, and she just went in there and put the ball in play and make something happen, so we can try to get our lead back. Then Kaylin Tillman, she's in the outfield as well, has done a good job as a role player. And as a role player, being able to hit over 400 is a difficult task to do because you get limited at bats, but she's made the most of her opportunities. And the same goes for Riley Brown in the outfield too. She's had limited at bats, but has made the most of her opportunities, putting the ball in play, and hitting the ball hard. So it's hard to pick out just 1 or 2 people, Marshall. So with all of them, they've all contributed in some way, and without each one of them, we don't have the season that we've had so far.
Right, it's very diplomatic. You got them all in there. Mara, how tall are you? That angle looks like you might be a little on the tall side. How tall are you?
I'm like 5'11".
Yeah, okay. And how fast are you throwing the ball?
Probably about like 60.
Okay. And what are you, 16, Mara?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to increase a little bit too. A lot of movement. So you throwing like a knuckleball or something? Trying to get some information out of you there. Yeah. No, not going to tell me, huh? All right. So I know that successful athletes have oftentimes some type of superstition or ritual or good luck charm of some sort just to help them keep mentally focused. Is there anything like that you can describe that goes on in your world?
Not really. Just like between every inning, like I always have to when we do like our high fives to each other, I always have to start with the third baseman and then go to the shortstop and the second base and then the first baseman.
Yeah,
And it
so
can like
there
way.
is something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. And how about the training regimen that you go through as a high school athlete? Now it's changed from when I was in high school, like 120 years ago. Um, you just went out there, you just ate, ran around, did laps, stuff like that, sprint if you were bad for your coach or something. What's it like now as far as do you hit the weight room at all? Do you have a special diet or anything like that you follow?
Yeah, I go to a trainer 3 times a week in the off season and 2 times a week in the in season. And I always eat a lot of protein. Like I have protein shakes every morning before school and like at night and stuff. So I'm like always doing something.
Now, are you getting any guidance from Furman regarding those things? Like, have they sent over some sort of exercise routine, nutritional plan, or anything like that that they coordinate with your trainer?
No,
No,
I
not
only
yet.
so
What's that?
I've only verbally committed. So
Okay. All right. That's going to change once you sign that letter. What are you looking forward to most about perhaps playing in college, Mara?
probably my being able to play with the team and build friendships that will like last beyond college.
Hmm. Are you developing relationships that will last beyond college here at the high school level, hopefully? Okay. All right, good. So you have a first round bye in the state tournament, which starts on Tuesday. You go in as the number 8 seed, and you will await the winner of Lake Forest and Newark Charter. With Lake Forest being the higher seed, they are seeded number 9, right behind you at 13-5, same record, and they have Newark Charter, the 24 seed with a 7-11 record. Now you played Lake Forest earlier in the year and beat them 2-0. You had 11 strikeouts in that game and only gave up 1 hit. What do you remember about that game that you're going to take into that game, provided that Lake Forest advances? You never played Newark Charter, so you would have no idea about that.
Um, probably that I'm gonna need because they've already all seen me multiple times, so I'm really gonna need to like be on my A game and be prepared for that game because they're gonna like they see me, they know what I throw, they know how I do stuff, so I'm really gonna have to be on it on Thursday.
Are you perhaps working on a secret fifth pitch that you might debut in that game?
I can't say.
Oh man, you're tough. I have to bust out some more tough questions to try to get the answers that I seek. No, I won't do that to you. I want to, but I can't. I don't want to. I don't want to jinx you. By the way, there is no jinx here on this show. Showing up here does not mean that you're going to get jinxed. I have proven that too. Sometimes, there's the old Sports Illustrated cover jinx. If you were on the cover of Sports Illustrated, like your career nosedive, that does not happen because you've just been guest on this show. So rest assured. And so you like pitching, but a lot of pitchers like to hit too. How's your offensive production there, Mara?
Um, it's okay. It's not like the best, but it's not like the worst.
And where do you hit in the order? Or do you hit? Because they have all sorts of weird things now, like DHs and flex, whatever that dumb rule was. They need to change that rule, flex. But anyway, where do you hit in the order when you hit?
Usually like fifth or fourth.
Okay, so that means you perhaps bring some power to the lineup. Then, do you hit and throw right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay, both ways. All right. And what was the other question I was going to ask there? I forgot. So tell me about your coach there, what he has done to help you there, either physically as a ball player or emotionally as a person.
He's always there to support me, and whenever I need help, he's always there to help me, and he always picks me up, like when I'm having tough time on the mound and stuff, and he always is there to talk to me and stuff and help me.
All right. And what else should I know about you, Mara?
Nothing about my pitches.
I didn't think that was going to be the question and actually let that information slip. I was kind of looking for something a little more personal there, I guess. All right. So any like hobbies of any kind there?
Not really, just softball all the time.
How about the team? Do you do any team building exercises of any kind? Some kind of events, gatherings, anything of the sort?
As like a whole team, no, but like I'll hang out with like some of the players like individually occasionally.
And what do you like to do?
We usually go out to eat.
Now, that does lead up to my next question. You will have a home game in the second round of the tournament, and if somebody was to go down to Woodside, Delaware, visit Polytech High School, and watch you pitch, where would they go to? Where would you recommend that they go to eat, either before or after the game?
Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. How about, is there like anything that's not a chain that you like down there? Nothing against Texas Roadhouse. I love that place myself. I would probably go there, but just, is there like a hidden gem of some sort?
No.
No. I actually knew the answer to that too. I thought maybe something had popped up that I wasn't aware of. All right. Fill in any blanks for me there, Mara. I'll start with you. You're sitting there hearing these questions, and maybe you're wondering to yourself, I wonder if he's going to ask me, or I hope he's going to ask me this particular question. Is there anything that I should have asked you that I haven't?
No.
Okay. All right, good. I'm doing a good job then. How about you, Coach?
No, I think you've hit quite a bit of spots there.
All right. All right then. Well, I want to wish both of you and the rest of your team great success in the upcoming state tournament, and we will see you in action on Thursday, the 25th, down there in Woodside at Polytech High School. I want to thank you, too, for making time to come visit me. Let me get you to wave goodbye to our growing fan base here at Delaware Sports and My Sports Reports. Good. Wave goodbye to your fans. That's all right. I'm going to press end meeting for all. It's nice to get to meet you and talk to you here. Again, continued success. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Marshall.
Thank you.
All right. So that's Mara Everton, the pitcher of the Polytech Panthers softball team. Our head coach, Kyle Taylor. Great year they ended up having, and she finished with a flurry this year for sure. 200 strikeouts, 4 no-hitters, 1 on the final day of the season against the Flight B champs, the Ducks of Odessa. Would you like to recommend somebody for me to have a conversation with? Reach out to me at mysportsreports@gmail.com. If you have some sort of sporting tip of some sort, perhaps somebody's reached a milestone that you think might interest me, that's the email you need to use, mysportsreports@gmail.com. Special thanks go out to my wonderful and beautiful wife, Dawnie M., my friends, Tommy K. and Joey B., supporters of the show in this form from day one. You can support the show simply by subscribing on whatever video platform you find these videos. Occasionally press play so you can find out a little bit about the personalities behind the names in the box scores. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am Marshal Manlove, and now from the home studio in Middletown, Delaware, I wish you all good night. Now, you're going to press the little end button, and I will be gone.